Hey, Michael here with Success for Others, and today I want to talk about, overcoming objections. I would have to say, with all the training classes that we do on an annual basis, we work with hundreds of comfort consultants and thousands of service technicians each and every single year, and the number one thing that everybody wants to learn when they walk into our class is how to overcome objections. And so allow me to just give you some basic rules of thumb when it comes to overcoming objections. First and foremost, don't take it personal. People aren't saying no to you specifically or you as a person. They're saying no to your offering. And the only reason why they're saying no to your offering is they feel that they can get more value somewhere else, which is kind of a generic term, if you will, but at the end of the day, we miss something. That's really what it comes down to. Our investment is greater than what they feel their reward is, and therefore they'll tell us no. And that's okay. It's not everybody can appreciate what it is we bring to the table. So two things here. Number one, don't take it personal. Don't let it get you down. Don't take it, to heart, if you will. Don't let it take you off track or on that downward spiral. And number two, really focus on, well, why is it that they didn't say yes to me? What did I miss? What could I have done a better job on of instilling that value or showing people how this system or how these options or how these recommendations were going to have a positive impact on their life? How did I miss that? Did I talk in industry terms or did I talk in their terms? So rule number one, don't take it personal. Rule number two, never make statements. Don't make statements when you're trying to overcome objections. If somebody asks you a question, if somebody gives you an objection, say, I need to think about it, or whatever that objection is, go ahead and answer that question or make your statement that you're going to make and follow it up with another question to keep the conversation alive. Now, here's the rule when you ask a question during the overcoming objections portion. Don't ask a yes or no question. People default to no. It's just like when you walk into a store, right? And you walk in and the little greeter's right there and they always ask you, hey, can I help you find anything? Nah, just looking. That's BS, man. I didn't drive all the way across town, walk into a store, spend all that time, energy, money on gas and everything else to walk into the store just to look around. I know exactly what I want, but it's a defensive mechanism. It's part of our DNA as human beings to ward off the evils of salespeople, and so we default to no whenever we're given the option of a yes or a no question. So never give a yes or no question. Always give an alternative choice question. Now, alternative choice is super, super simple. All it means is you're going to give them 2 or 3 options and say, hey, of these options, which one do you think makes the most sense? Which would you choose? Which would you prefer? Ask it however you wish. I'll tell you a little story here about my son. My oldest son, when he was really, really little, I was going through a lot of heavy-duty training, and I was doing a lot of role-playing and really active in sales training, and I had gone to a training event in Scottsdale, Arizona one time and learned this alternate choice close, and it was pretty awesome. And for me, at the time, being brand new into my career, I thought it was just life-changing, and I came back home from that event, and we were at the store, and I watched my son standing in the checkout aisle of a grocery store, and Mom was in front of the cart unloading it, and I was behind the cart kind of holding it, watching him, and he asked his mother, he says, Mom, can I have M&Ms? Kid loved M&Ms, right? Didn't matter what kind of M&Ms, just wanted M&Ms. Mommy, can I have M&Ms? And she, sometimes she'd say yes, and other times she'd say no. Nah, you're going to ruin your appetite, or no, you can't, you just had M&Ms yesterday. You're going to rot out your teeth. Oh, we're going to have dinner in an hour. Whatever it was. And sometimes she'd let him put them on the conveyor belt and she'd get them for him. Well, when I heard this after going to this event, it dawned on me. It clicked. And I was like, wow, wait a minute. That's not the way you ask for the order. That's not the way you ask for the sale. You never ask a yes or no question. You don't say, Mom, can I have M&Ms? You want the M&Ms. That's the objective. You're trying to close your mom on getting the M&Ms. You have to give an alternate choice. So I pulled my son aside about 2-3 aisles over. Now, mind you, he's about 4, maybe 3. 4 years old. Grabbed a bag of peanut M&Ms, grabbed a bag of plain M&Ms, put one in each hand. I said, now listen, Zachary, go back up to your mother and ask her, Mom, which would you prefer I have, the peanut or the plain? But never ask her, can you have M&Ms? That leads to a yes or a no. Always ask an alternate choice. Would you prefer I have the peanut or would you prefer I have the plain? Now your closing rate his closing rate, I know for sure, went up that day. It probably doubled. I didn't measure it beforehand, I didn't measure it afterwards, but I can tell you this, it increased, and so will yours. So never ask a yes or no question. So don't take it personal. Don't ask yes or no questions, and keep the conversation alive. Use alternate choice. If somebody asks you a question, answer their question, and then say, hey, I noticed that I have next Tuesday or next Thursday available on the installation schedule. Which one of those days works better for you? Assume the sale. Ask the question. If they're going through the equipment, you're going through accessories, you're going through options. Hey, of these two options, of these two choices, of these three choices, of these systems we've just described and just discussed, which one do you think makes the most sense? Ask an alternate choice question and then be quiet and listen to what they say. Just by stopping to ask the yes or no questions and asking alternate choice questions, people will start to pick stuff where otherwise they would have just said no. Hey, do you want us to go ahead and install this new system? Nah, we're going to hold off for a little while. Don't give them that as an option. I mean, it's still an option. They can go there, but don't tee it up for them. Give them an alternate choice. Hey, of these two systems, which one do you think makes the most sense for you and your family? And then shut up and let them choose. So don't take it personal. Keep the conversation going. Don't ask yes or no questions. Always use alternate choice questions. And number 4, just relax, man. Just relax. When we get to the end of the presentation, when we ask for the order, when we straight up ask for the sale and say, hey, of these 4 options, which one do you think makes the most sense? You've got to be relaxed. You've got to be chill. Don't get all worked up. Don't be all nervous. It'll come through your body language, your tonality, the speed of your voice. Everything will come through. If you're nervous, if you're stressed, the customer's going to sense it. And if they sense it, game over. It's over right then and there. They're going to think about it. They got to talk to their spouse about it. They're not making a decision while you're there. And no matter what tactic you want to use and what high pressure methodology you've been taught, it isn't going to work at that point because they don't have the confidence in you. So you have to make sure that you just chill, you just relax. I call it disarming. When you go in and you ask for the order specifically, put your pen on the table, lean back in your seat, cross your legs if you want, pack up some of your stuff, put some of your paperwork together like you're going to be putting it away, like you're leaving. Disarm the situation. Pause. Breathe in deep. Take your time. Take some deep breaths. Don't rush. And then ask the question, hey, of these 3 options, which one do you think makes the most sense? If they pick one, the next logical question to ask is, that's a great system. That's a great option you just chose. Now, I noticed I have next Tuesday or next Friday available. Which one of those days works better for your schedule? And then again, be quiet. And guess what? Many times, they're just going to pick one. And if they pick a day, you just sold the project. And at that point in time, the final rule of closing, the final rule of overcoming objections is when they pick the installation, when they've picked out the system that they want and when they want it installed, you change the subject. Don't talk yourself out of a sale. Awesome. We'll go ahead and call the office right now for next Friday. We'll be here about 8 o'clock in the morning. That's great. Take care of that. And then change the topic. What else were you talking about throughout the call where you were on the same common ground or you guys were building your rapport on or whatever have you? Talk about that stuff again and then reaffirm how awesome it's going to be, how much they're going to love it. That's the only thing you should do, but don't keep giving details. Don't keep giving benefits because you very well may talk yourself out of sale. When they choose an installation date, they choose a system, they choose an accessory, they approve or authorize the repairs or recommendations, boom. Go on to the next topic. So again, don't ask yes or no questions. Don't take it personal. Relax, chill, disarm. Don't get stressed out. It's no big deal. Whether they say yes or they say no, who cares? Just give them the option to do so. That's the biggest thing. If you just give them the option, more people will say yes and they'll say no. Give them the alternate choice. Of these 2 options, which one do you think makes the most sense? Never ask a yes or no question. And then once you get everything buttoned down, change the topic. Go to something more personable. Talk about whatever it is that you were building rapport on, whatever common ground you guys had. So that's really all I've got for you this week. Some quick tidbits on overcoming objections. Pretty simple. The biggest thing is going to be your own personal mindset, your own body language, your tonality. All of that kind of stuff is what comes in. Most people are just scared. and they're nervous to ask for the order, and so therefore they never actually do. And since they never asked for it, they never get it, or they get it less than what they should. So ask for the order every single time. Use the alternate choice close, and don't be afraid. Don't be scared. It's all good. That's why they called you out to their house in the first place. So again, Michael with Success for Others. If you need any other advice, you have any questions on closing, anything that we can do to help you progress in your HVAC career, please don't hesitate to give us a call. And of course, go forth and be profitable. Thanks, guys.